This is the second part of the revision. So we want to look at this topic now. This question is on surface area of cylinder, so which we have treated. If you check one of the videos I have produced, I have explained it in details, but we're still going to revise it here. So this question says find the total surface area of what? A cylinder. So the first thing that will come to your mind is, what is the total surface area of a cylinder, but opened at one end? So total surface area of a cylinder opened at one end. You know, a cylinder is this. This is a cylinder. It has two circular faces and then one curved surface. So if this one is closed like this. So that means we use a circle to cover this. Why this is opened here? So which means this will give us a circle. That is area of a circle, which is pi r squared. Then this one, we are not covering it because it is open. So we're not going to have, I mean, this place is also closed. We have another pi r square here. But this will then be 2 pi r h. I've explained how this is being derived. So which means that total surface area of a cylinder opened at one end here is the end that is closed is pi r square. That's area of a circle plus 2 pi r h. So this is the formula for calculating total surface area of a cylinder opened at one end. But if the two ends are closed, so the answer will then be, you have this. So this is closed. This is closed. So this is pi r squared. This is another what? Pi r squared. Making how many? 2. So it will then be 2 pi r squared. So 2 pi r squared plus this 2 pi r h. 2 pi r h. So that's the formula we're going to use. So if the two ends are closed, but in the case of this question, so one end is what? Open. So we're going to make use of this formula. So let's read further. If his height, which is h is 10 centimeters, and its diameter is 7 centimeters. Diameter is 7 centimeters. So radius will then be, radius is diameter divided by 2. That is 7 divided by 2, which is what? 3.5. Right? And that's all. So hence, find its volume. So that's what we want to use. So now we're not given the value of pi. It depends on you. So you can pick the value of pi that suits you. So let me use 22 divided by 7. For mine, I'm going to use 22 divided by 7. That is, so I've known this, I've known this, I've known this is only the pi. So I can then apply this. So let's apply. So that means total surface area of an open cylinder at one end will be 22 divided by 7 multiplied by radius, which is 7 all over 2 times 7 all over 2 plus 2 times 22 over 7 times radius 7 over 2 times what? 10. So from here we can then, this divided by this here, 11. So that means we have 77 divided by what? 2 plus 7 cancel 7, 2 here 1, 2 here cancel 2, plus that means we have 22 times 10, that is 220. So we can then have this to be 8.5 plus 220. So that means our answer will be, when you have this, that will be 258.5. Now don't forget this area, centimeters squared. So if you fail to put this there, you lose a mark out of the total mark. So the next is that after calculating the total surface area, you then ask to find its what? Volume. So volume of a cylinder volume of a cylinder is what? Pi r square h. I've also explained how to calculate how this formula is being derived. So because a cylinder is a prism and volume of any prism is the base area times height. So the base area of this cylinder is what? Circle. That is, area of circle is pi r squared, then multiplied by the height. So depending on what you are given. So in this case, that will be 22 divided by 7 multiplied by r, that is 7 squared, 7 over 2 times 7 over 2. The height, which is 10. So 7 cancel 7. 2 here, 1, 2 here, 11. 2 here, 1, 2 here, what? 5. So we have 77 multiplied by what? 5. So that is 35, 38. 385 centimeters what? Cube. So this is how to calculate total surface area of a cylinder and the volume of a cylinder. This is when it is opened. If it is not open, you just put here, 2 here. And this is the curved surface area. Curved surface area. Curved surface area. So if you have to find curved surface, this is what you are going to use. So let's look at the next one. This question is on cone. So we want to find the total surface area of a cone. Total surface area of a cone. So we're not told if the cone is opened or not opened, but once it is silent like this, so consider it to be what? Closed. So in that case, so total surface area of a cone, total surface area of a cone is, it has a base, right? This, which is circle, so which is pi r squared, plus this curved part is what? Pi rl, pi rl. So I also have a video on my channel here too. Check it out. I've explained how this is being derived in details. So that is what we're going to look for. So now, of base radius, the radius is given to be 21 centimeters, and the height is given to be 7 centimeters. So then after that, you find the volume of the cone. Now, the question now is that if you look at the formula here, you have to be very careful. We have pi r squared plus pi rl. So we don't have L in what we're given. So this L is called, this L here is the slant height. Slant height, which is this slant height here, this one. Why the height given here? You know, they just mention height, whether it is slant or vertical height. They did not say something like that. So you, as this is, you regard this as the vertical height, which is the height that comes here. Sorry. So from here downward like this. This is the vertical height. So in that case, let's have our cone here. This is the slant height L. This is the vertical height H, and this is the what? The radius. So we're given the height, which is 7, and we're given the radius, which is what? 21. So we're looking for slant height. Because without the slant height, we cannot calculate this. We must find the value of L before we can find the final answer. So in that case, we're going to use, this is a right angle triangle. If I should bring this out, I'm going to have this. This is what I'm going to have. I have L, I have 7 centimeters, I have 21 centimeters. Right? So I need to find this. So I can use Pythagoras theorem here because this is a right angle triangle. So we have this, we have this, we don't know this. So this is hypotenuse because that is side facing the right angle. So in that case, that means I'm going to use Pythagoras theorem, which is L square, hypotenuse square, equals to opposite square, which is 7 squared, plus adjacent square, which is 21 squared. So this gives 49 plus 21 squared. 21 squared gives me 441. And that means by the time you add them together, plus 49. That gives 490, right? So don't forget, we are looking for L, not L squared. So square root goes, that will be L equals to square root of what? 490. So square root of this gives me 22.1359. 1359. I can stop here. 1359 centimeters, right? So this is the slant height. That's what I'm going to use to solve this. So I will then come to this place now. The total surface area, which is pi, can use 22/7. But if you are given the value of pi, make sure you use the value of pi. Some question will give you 3.14, or some will be 3.142. So whichever one, you still get the same answer. So multiplied by the radius is r, that is 21 squared, plus pi 22/7 times r 21 times slant height, this value, that is 22.14. Let's use 14 here. 1359. 1359. So we then have this will be 22/7 plus 21 squared is 441, plus 7 here 1, 7 here what? 3. So let's do the calculation here. Sorry, this is times here. This is times. So 441 divided by 7 gives 63. So that means 63 times 2, 22 times 22. I have 1386 plus, so 22 sorry, this is supposed to be 22 times 3 times 22.1359. so 22 times 3 times 22.1359. So we have 1460.9694. So we add them together, plus 1386. So that is 2846.97. So centimeters squared. So that is how you calculate this. So the last one is find its volume. So volume of a cone is 1/3 of the volume of a cylinder. So in the last question, we said volume of a cylinder is what? Pi r square h. So 1/3 of it, that is times pi r square h. So that's what we're going to have. That will be 1/3 times pi 22 divided by 7 times radius, which is 21 squared, times the height. So it is this plane we're going to use this height, that is 7 now. So we use the height, 7 cancel 7. Let me separate this. 21 times 21 times 7. 7 cancel 7. 3 here 1, 3 here 7. So we can then multiply everything together. That will be 22 times 7 times 21. So that gives 3,234 centimeters cube. So that is that on that. So that is all you need to know on the cone here. Total surface area and its volume. So this question is on similar shapes. So on similar shapes or similar triangles. So as from what you can see here, triangles ABC and XYZ are equiangular. So equiangular in this sense means that they are similar. Two triangles are angular are similar if they are equal, that is, they have equal angles. From what you can see here, this angle is equivalent to this angle. This one is equivalent to this one. Why this also what? Because of this. So that is what is meant by equiangular. Sometimes specific angle will be given. For if this is 40, 40 will be written here. If this is 80, 80 will be written here. And if this is 90, 90 will be written here. So that's what is meant by equiangular. So in this, how do we do that? So the first thing we need to do, I've also, if you check one of my videos there, you also see questions on that. The way I solved it, I explained everything in details. So the first thing you need to do is to uh, write out the ratio of corresponding size. So this size AB, the ratio of corresponding size, so AB corresponds to which size? So AB, which is from this angle to this angle, and this angle to this angle are also are corresponding. That is x what? Z. So I made use of this angle 1 2 1 2. So I can write zx or xz, still the same thing. Must be equals to BC, the ratio of the next one. So BC, which is 2 to nothing, that is xy. Then the last side here was AC. That is 1 to nothing. That is y what? Z. Am I with you? So in that case, so let's put the values of these ratios. So we have 14 here. XZ is 8, right? BC, we don't know BC. XY, we don't know XY. AC, it is 20. And YZ, it is YZ. So that is YZ we're looking for. This is it here. So if you look at this one we don't know the value of BC and XY. So we don't need this one. So we combine this and this, the one that's complete, and that is 14. So I can reduce this to lowest term. 2 can divide this. This is 2 here, 7. 2 here, what? 4. So I can have 7 divided by 4 equals 20 divided by what? YZ. So from here, what I'm looking for is YZ. So I can cross multiply. When I cross multiply, I'll have 7 YZ equals to 4 times 20. That is what? 80. Right. So divide both sides by 7. Divide both sides by 7. 7 cancel well. 7. So 80 divided by 7. 80 divided by 7 gives 11.4. So that means YZ is equal to 11 point what? 11.443 centimeters. So I ran it up to 2 decimal places. So that's how to solve questions on this. This question is on ratio as we asked to find the value of x. So given 4 ratio x equals to ratio 3 to 5. So as you all know that we can write ratio as fraction. So that is 4 divided by x equals to 3 divided by what? 5. So from here, we've changed it to equations involving fractions. So in that case, cross multiply, we have 3x multiplied by what? 20. Divide both sides by 3. By 3. 3 cancel 3. Then x is 3 and 20 is 6. Remainder 2 all over what? 3. So that is the value of our x. Find the product of the LCM and HCF of 12x squared y and 54x y cubed z. So what you're asked to do here, you find the HCF first, then find the LCM, and then multiply them together. Product means you have to multiply them together. Let's find the LCM. Let's find the HCF first. So HCF. So we can use any method. So, but the best will be, since the objective, you can have this to say ACF, sorry, for ACF we have 12x squared y, 54x y cubed z. So what you're going to do here now is this. So what is common? 2 can go. So that is 6x squared y. That is 2, 7x y cubed z. So 3 can go. 3, 2x squared y, then 3 here 9x y cubed z. Nothing can go in 2 and 9 again, so we stop at that. So we look for the next uh, variable, which is x. X can go, that will be 2xy. Then 9x has gone, which means y cubed z. Then what can go again? Y can go, that is 2x 9y squared z. So we don't have any other thing that can go again. So that means the HCF here, you can have a HCF, write it here. So HCF is equal to 2 times, that will be 6xy. So now, instead of us doing it again to find the LCM, what I will just do, I will continue. I'll continue until I will get to 1. So 2 can go, x, that will be 9y squared z, x, 1, 9y squared z. Since I don't have anything here, 1, so I'll just put 9y squared z, 1, 1. So that means the LCM will be the multiplication of everything here. 2 times 3, 6. 6 times 6 times 2, that is 12. 12 times 9, that is LCM 108. Then x squared y cubed z. So their product will then be 6xy multiplied by 108 x squared y cubed z. So multiply 6 times 6, so that is 648 x squared. So x squared, that will be x cubed, then y raised to power 4z. So this will be the product of the two. So this topic is on Pythagorean triple. So the question asks us to find which of the following is not a Pythagorean triple. So which one of them is not a Pythagorean triple? Sometimes you have to be very careful of this. Is not. The question is not. So some will be is. So take note of this. Very important. So Pythagorean triple, we're looking at a set of numbers that satisfy the condition of Pythagorean theorem rule. Pythagorean rule says hypotenuse squared equals opposite squared plus adjacent squared. Don't forget, this is applicable on a right angle triangle. So the side here is the hypotenuse, which is the longest. So which means out of the three numbers, the bigger one will serve as the hypotenuse. All these one are the hypotenuse. So the rest will be opposite and what adjacent. Let's now look at it. So we'll put 5 under hypotenuse. That will be 5 squared. Will it be equal to the 2 squared plus 3 squared? We check. So this gives 4, while this gives 9. So this gives 25. So addition of this gives what? 13. Therefore, it is not. So this is not. So it's part of our answer. We check for the second. That is for A. For B, we have 3. So 3, 5 will also be the same thing. 5 squared equals to 3 squared plus 4 squared. So this gives 9 plus this gives what? 16. This is 25. So will this give 25? Yes. So this is also what? Correct. So in this case, this is a Pythagorean triple. Why this is not a Pythagorean triple? So this will not be our answer. This is our answer. Let's check if we have more than one answer here. So C. So we have 7, 8, 9. So the 9 here is the hypotenuse. So we say 9 squared equals to 7 squared plus what? 8 squared. This is what? 81. This is what? 49. Why this is what? 64. Adding this together shows that this and this are not what? The same. This is 13. This is 12. 123 is not the same thing as what? 81. So which means this and this are our answer. So which of these is not? Or so in this case, are not will be are not, because we have two answers here. So this and this are not Pythagorean triples. Are not Pythagorean what? Triples. Hope that is clear now. So that's how you figure out your answer. So just take note of this aspect. Very important. This question is on angle of elevation, and think on the under angle of elevation, it requires diagram before you can solve it. So let's see how it goes. So the angle of elevation of the top of a radio. So elevation simply means that you want to look at something above you. So you have to raise your eyes to look at that thing. But if it is depression, angle of depression, you want to look at something below you. So if you are looking straight, this is your eyes level, right? And you want to look at the object below you, you have to turn your head downward. So the angle between your horizontal eyes level and the line of sight of the object is the angle of depression. Why the difference between the line of sight, your horizontal level, and the line of sight is what? The angle of elevation. This is what I'm saying here. So you have someone is here, you have someone here. So the person is looking, say this is the horizontal level, and the person wants to look at something here. So the person would have to look up. So the difference between this line and this line is the angle of what? Angle of what? Elevation, right? While you're looking at something up there down here, so you have to look at this place. So this angle of what? Depression. I believe this is very clear. So let's now see how this is applicable to this question. So the question said that we should the angle of elevation of the top of a radio mast. So you have a radio mast here. Let's say this is the mast, radio mast here. This is the radio mast. It's very tall. We want to look at the top of it from a point, 54 meters from its base. That is, the point is 54 meters from the base of the mast. From its, because this is referring to what? The radio mast. From its base. This is the base of the radio mast, and the point is 54 meters away from it. 54 meters away from it. Then from this point to the base is 54 meters. On the level ground, this is the level ground, right? Good. This is the point here. Is 65. That is the angle. If you want to raise your, this is when you are looking straight, your horizontal eye level, and you want to look at the top here, you have to raise it and go like this. So this is what? 65 degrees, right? So find the height of the mass. That is, we're looking for this place, from here to this place. So if you look at this, this has formed a right angle triangle, and we're looking for this height here. So the height is the opposite. This is the hypotenuse, while this is the what? Adjacent. How do we do that? That's opposite over adjacent. Don't forget, I told you for you to apply so ka twa. So you have to be very careful here. So which one we're looking for? O, and we have A. So which one are we using? This one, OH, is not complete. AH is not complete. We have O, we are not looking for O. We are looking for O, but we have H. We can't apply it. Here we are looking for O, and we have A. So this is what we're going to use. So using twa. So that means tan 65 degrees equals to opposite, which is the H, divided by the adjacent, which is what? 54. So in that case, when you cross multiply, you have H equals to 54 multiplied by what? Tan 65. That is 54 times tan 65. Now, tan 65 equals to 2.1445. So when we multiply together, 54 times 2.1445. So we have 115.80. So that is the height of the mast. So 115.8 centimeters is the height, meters is the height of the mast. radio mass. So we look at the next one. A pentagon have x, 2x, 3x, 4x, and 2x. Find the value of x. So in this case, what we're going to do, well, first of all, because pentagon has 5 sides, it has 5 sides. Pentagon has 5 sides. So what we're going to do, find the total sum of angles or in a pentagon. Sum of angles in a pentagon. So the first thing, the sum of angles in any polygon is what? N minus 2 bracket what? 180 degrees. So pentagon has 5 sides, that will be 5 minus 2 times 180 degrees. So that is 3 times what? 180 degrees, which is what? 540 degrees. Right? So having known that, so it means that we're going to add this plus this plus this plus it gives us what? 540. That will be x plus 2x plus 3x plus 4x plus 2x equals to 540. This plus this, that is 3, 6, 10, 12. That is 12x equals to what? 540. Divide both sides by 12 by 12. So x equals what? 45 what? Degrees. So that is that. Here you want to find the exterior angle of a regular decagon. So firstly, this question is trying to test our knowledge of exterior angles. So exterior angle, sum of exterior angle of any polygon is 360, which we have proved. So check one of the videos there, which when I discussed exterior angles of polygon. So sum of exterior angle, sum of exterior angles of any polygon is equal to what? 360 degrees. So now find the exterior angle. Here you have to be very careful again. Find the exterior angle. This one is singular of a regular polygon. That is, find each exterior angle. Each exterior angle. Just for example, this is an equilateral triangle. All the sides and angles are equal, are the same. So the exterior angle here, this is it, and this is another one. So the addition of everything here must give us a 360. So which means each of them are the same. So 360 divided by 3. So that gives us 120 each. 120 each. 120 each. So we want to get for decagon. Decagon has how many sides? 12 sides. I believe I'm making sense. So in that case, so that means each exterior angle of a decagon will then be 360 degrees divided by what? 10. So that gives what? 36 degrees. Straightforward. So this question is on bearing. So, and this is what we call back bearing. Question is asking a question on back bearing. So the bearing of P from Q is 58 degrees. What is the bearing of Q from P? What's the bearing of Q from P? So that's what we want to find. So you can see we're starting from Q. Now this question is that we should start from what? P. So how are we going to do that? So I'll give you short course and I'll also explain the basis. So the basis is this. So let's find the bearing of P from, that is, our starting point is Q. So Q, this is Q, point Q here. This point Q here. So you have to draw your 4 cardinal points here. The north. As you all know, on that 3D bearing, this is supposed to be 0.58. So on that 3D bearing, you start from the north and move clockwise. You move clockwise. So 58 degree, this is 58 degrees. 58 degrees. So this will be point what? P. Then we'll close it. Right? So the question, this is the interpretation of this. Now the question, what is the bearing of Q from P? So you want to get the bearing of Q from P. That's when you start from. So the north is the north pole. So you move from this north pole clockwise to the line that will lead you toward to Q. So in that case, this angle here and this angle here are the same. alternate angles. So if that is the case, I want to calculate the total angle here from here to this place. From here to here is what? 180. 180 degrees. So which means this plus this. So the bearing of Q from P will then be addition of this. That is 238 degrees. So the shortcut is this. If what you are given is less than 180, the first statement is less than 180, and you are looking for the back bearing, the answer, you just add this one to 180, which that's what we did here, this plus this. But if what you have here is more than 180, take for instance, if this, assuming this is what, 1, let's say 200 degrees, so our answer is what? 20 degrees. How? Let's see it. Because I will just subtract 200 minus what? 180 degrees. That gives me so 20 degrees. The back bearing will be 20 degrees. So let's see. So Q, we're starting from Q. The bearing of P from Q is 200. Don't forget the 200 is somewhere here. So I have my Q here. This is the Q. I'll move 200. This is 200. To what? To P. And I have to calculate the bearing of Q from P. This is 200 degrees. Now, don't forget from here just 180. So this place will be what? 20. This and this 20, alternate angle. So this is from P to Q, 20 degrees. Simple. So which means that if what you are given is above 180 degrees, you subtract 180 degrees from it to get your back bearing. But if it is less than 180, just add 180 to it. Add 180 to get your what? Your back bearing. So that is that on this one. So move to the next one.